Hey there, true believers. Rain Kisaragi here with more Let's Play Fire Emblem: The Sacred Stones. Now, I've had a good hard think about how to handle Ephraim's next couple chapters, because these ones are almost identical to Eirika's chapters. So instead of showing you the same mission again, I'm only going to show you the bits that are different. So basically, the intro and outro, and that's even debatable in the next chapter because I think it's just the same. But we will find out. But before we do any of that, we need to do something that's been nagging for a little while. We need to promote some units. We're gonna start with Noel because, well, he's kind of shit. Well, he's actually average, but nah. I like my characters to be good. So we're gonna use a guiding ring, and we can make Noel a druid who gets anima and staves as his things, or a summoner that gets staves and the skill summon. Now, because actually, I'm trying to think in the order these videos are going to be out. Well, I've already recorded Eirika's next, well, part of her next thing, the intro to her next thing. So we've already made him a summoner there. Let's make him a druid here, just for the sake of diversity. I'd say that's pretty fair. We'll kind of show off both classes at least a little bit. Besides, druid isn't my favorite. Maybe it'll turn around and be useful. And oh my god, those stat gains are not great. Well, never mind. So Noel is now a druid. He gets to be a druid now. Good job. Now I'm not done yet. Ford. Ford can also be promoted. Ford is average. Let's make him hopefully less average by making him a great knight. Now, Great Knight, as I said in one of the Eirika videos, are basically knights on top of horses. They're quite good. Not as good as generals, but, you know, not bad. And then the stats are definitely far from bad as well, which is a good thing. Kyle will also be being promoted, because it makes sense. Also, into a Great Knight, because Great Knights are good. Now maybe my frontline cavalry will do a little bit better than they already were doing. Joshua is also going to be promoted, because he can be, into an assassin or swordmaster. He actually does have the best assassin sprite in the entire game. Unfortunately, he's also the best swordmaster in the game. Now, the difference between these classes is that since they both just use swords, the assassin learns the skill Silencer, which in tomorrow's video I will incorrectly say is 1/4 of your skill effect. It's actually half your critical score. It's far better than I thought it was going to be. But anyway, the Silencer skill allows them on a critical hit, half the time that critical hit will automatically kill someone, like 100% to 0. It's really quite a useful skill conditionally. But we're going with the Swordmaster, because their passive is a 15% bonus to critical chance. So he will always have at least 15% chance to crit, which is awesome. And his sprite looks badass too. There's that as well. Wish he would get some more skill and speed for getting into this class, but I understand why. Why not? Because that would be way too good. Colm is going to be promoted. Now, Colm can also be an assassin with a crappy sprite, or can be a rogue with a slightly better sprite. Now, the rogue, as you see, still just use swords, but they learn the skill Pick. Basically, Pick is a permanent lockpick. They will always have infinite lockpicks now. So Rogue, for its utility, is far better for Colm than Assassin. Not that Colm makes a bad assassin, he's just a far superior rogue. Next on the level up on the promotion block is Neme, who will use our only Orion's Bolt, the only one we need in the entire game, to either become a sniper or a ranger. Now, the difference here is very clear. There's quite a couple differences. One, the sniper only uses bows and learns the skill Sure Strike, and can still use ballista. Unfortunately, there's no more ballista after this point in the entire game, and Sure Strike is kind of negated by using light weapons and having high speed, or skill rather. That's what hit percentage comes off of. Because Sure Strike guarantees you hit. It's good on paper. And then you realize all the little problems that I've just listed. Using a light weapon raises your accuracy, and having high skill, which both of these classes already have, kind of negate the value of Sure Strike, so it's really not worth it. But the Ranger is great. They're mounted and they can use swords. So the Ranger it is. Now I know in the other playthrough I also made name a Ranger. It just shows how much better the Ranger is than the Sniper. Look at those buffs, too. Those stat boosts. Too strong. Very, very good. Another one is Ross. Ross is being promoted as well. And he can either become a warrior, which uses axes and bows. They're pretty okay. Or he can become a berserker, who only uses axes. Berserker are basically the sword master of the axe-using classes, so we're definitely going to do that, giving him a permanent 15% chance critical strike. So now Ross can kill people without even a thought. And those stat boosts. It's only one, but it's one to everything. Cormag is also being promoted, because Cormag is amazing. Now, Cormag can either become a Wyvern Lord or a Wyvern Knight. Now, I'll start with the Knight first, because it's not the one we're going to pick. Wyvern Knights still only use lances, and they gain the skill Pierce. Pierce allows them to poke through the enemy's defenses and deal maximum damage to them. It's a really good skill, if it didn't crash the game whenever it activated, so it's not worth picking up. So, Wyvern Lord it is. They're basically flying cavalry people. They gain the ability to use swords, and maintain their ability to fly. So they are very good units. I think I may have like one more person being promoted. I don't. That was a lie. So, with our army powered up, let's head to Jehenna Hall. Well, of course they do. It'd be really shitty if they just let her go away. And we shall. In Chapter 15, Scorched Sand. Now, I've already done this mission, as I said, in Eirika's game. I'll show you the differences, basically. We start down here. That's a difference already. Alright, that's handy, Seth. Who is it? I know it's Kalech. Oh, it's Volter as well. Awesome. That's explaining a mechanic for this level. In the sand squares, it's very hard for anyone to move, unless they're flyers or mages. Yes, mounted units basically move one square through the desert. It's awful. You don't seem to really want to say that very much. Oh, that was my mouse. Sorry about that. Ignore the mouse flying across the screen slowly. I was stretching my leg out. The most professional. And now I'm screwing them over. Oh, he knows Joshua. I'm gonna say he probably doesn't. Oh, there you go. Well, you saw through that plan pretty quick, didn't you? That's not it. You know, you say that. Well, let's take a look at the map just for the sake of trend. See, we have Volter's massive army of Wyvern Riders and everything. Then we have then we have Kalech's army, which is much smaller. Now, obviously, going head to head against Volter and killing him would probably be a little easier for us to do, right? Wrong, because he has a Philly shield and a killer lance and a spear. Basically, Volter is going to be very hard for us to kill because the Philly shield makes arrows useless. Well, not useless, just not as good against flyers as it would normally be. Meanwhile, Kalech has the Hoplin Guard, which negates critical hits. That is really good, and it's a useful thing to have for going and killing Volter. So honestly, we may go kill Kalech anyway, even though, well, it's going to be a bit further of a walk for us. Now, let's see, who don't I want in my army? I actually want all of these people in my army. Yeah, that's actually fine. That's a fine setup. Let's pick up another sword for Joshua. Another sword for Calm as well, because he will have a hell of a time here if he doesn't have any weapons. Neme can also get a sword, because she can use those now, and I want her to have one. Ross is good, Cormac is not. Do I have any, I don't. Yeah, unfortunately, I just have to go buy another spear. And everybody else, I think, is pretty much okay. Yeah, everybody's pretty okay. Now my formation. On the front lines, I'm going to want, first off, a mage. So Natasha can move to the front, because she can intercept all of these guys. Yes. She can intercept all of them, and then we'll have Joshua as her backup to do that. Then, from there, we want to have our cavalry to break the enemy charge. So we'll probably dump Kyle and Ford there. We need to cross the desert very quickly, so we'll send Cormag up there. She can hang back. And we'll do that to send Neme Colm as backup. Ross will press somewhere. Actually, Ross is going to press upward. We're going to send Cormag over here. That'll work. That'll be our upfront plan. And I don't need to save because there's more conversation that's going to happen before we're done. Sela? Who is Sela? Well, what do you know? We're already here. Well, I guess you're Sela, since I know who Innes is. Well, and now the map begins. Our goal is to defeat every enemy, and we have them up here. These are the two units that Eirika got in her chapters that Ephraim didn't get. So she got Sela instead of Noel. Sela's a sage. He's a pre-promote, so he's less useful than he could be, but he has pretty good stats for someone who is lower than his level, but he has okay stats by comparison. And then we have Innes, who is a sniper. Remember how I said snipers were balls? Yeah. Innes is fine, I guess. and Eirika, who's the same level we left her at when we switched over to playing as Ephraim. So that's the fight. I'm going to do this off screen because it's literally the same fight as the one we had with where we controlled Eirika, except this time Ephraim's forces start down here in mass, and Eirika's forces are tiny up here. That's the only real difference here. So I will see you guys for the ending cutscene of this, and that's probably going to be about it for this video. So I hope you guys had. I'm not signing off just yet. So I will see you guys in just a bit.